After watching the videos from this week's lecture, I think that a few of the policies could work for Miami. Some of those include retrofitting some of these buildings in order to make them more energy efficient using skylights, so you get more natural light. And with that, also finding more sources of renewable energy. And for Miami, that would be feasible since there is a lot of sunlight in the state of Florida. Um, the park and ride would be a little more difficult to implement, I think, because it's difficult to build things like that around in existing infrastructure. But if they could get something like a light rail going, then it would be more feasible since you could kind of design it higher and around, and then you don't have to worry about the flooding that comes along with that. The other thing I thought that was a good idea would be traffic calming, and I think I wrote about this several times, but um, making certain streets into pedestrian and cyclist only, or you could have only cars that belong to residents on that street, and then making they said, like in Freiburg, the streets like that, or the speed limit is really slow, something like 9 miles an hour, something like that. Um, and then they had some landfill power generation things, which I remember seeing in one of the other videos in another module, the same thing that like San Francisco does, where they use more biodegradable sources to capture the gases that are emitted from the landfill. So that could be a thing. Then the bicycle transport, I noticed, would be probably also feasible as long as there are protected bike lanes in place. Um, I would definitely be willing to live in a city like that. I hate driving, and so I think having everything high density and in close proximity and just a short either walking distance or in a city that does provide a lot of train stops and things like that, then that would be very, very convenient for me.